Greetings. My name is Marilyn, and we will be speaking about dramatism and how it relates to Zach Waugh's speech. After analyzing Zach Waugh's speech, I was very impressed with how he presented himself to the chairman. He shared his background, his story, and his current major in college. He spoke with so much passion, with so much security. And I analyzed his speech as him defending the two women that raised him, defending gay marriage, and how it has not affected him in any way as an individual. He then stated that he was an engineer student. He even told the chairman he would be a proud parent if his son was an engineer student, to see his perseverance, his academic accomplishment in college. I related his speech to the dramatism theory that Kenneth Burke created because of the use of the public speaking and signs and the way he spoke about his mothers and how it has affected him so greatly, how not one person he's met has ever independently assumed that he was raised by a gay couple, by his character. So as I go more in depth with this theory and relating it to Zach's life and speech in this case, the dramatism theory is a human life as drama. Actors on a stage is what Burke described this theory. The acts of the play will reveal the motives of the humans, and even Burke said the drama is very grand. There will be days of suspense, which has occurred in this speech, and this theory allows people to express ourselves. In this speech, Zach is expressing himself to the chairman, expressing his information, his background, and expressing how none of this is affected by a gay couple. It is very rational of Zach to state and express himself in that way. In dramatism, engaging in public speaking, we're engaged in drama. So in this case, Zach is automatically engaged in drama because of his public speaking to the chairman and to the audience. The human beings are the choice makers in this theory as well, which I don't think Zach will be the choice maker in this case. It would be the chairman, that his audience would be the choice makers after the speech. And the identification and substance. The substance of the theory is relating to our demographics, to our background, and the facts about us. Zach had to relate everything to his background and the facts about himself, about his family, in order to have his point across in this speech. There was not an overlap of substance in the speech, in my opinion, from what I analyzed, although there was a division for sure. The division in the dramatism theory is when we see people as the other, as being different from us than we have. And that is division. In this case, in the speech, Zach may see everything as divided, which is one of the motivations of his speech, because him being raised by a gay couple, he sees a division in politically in the country, in the nation, and in how when they are against gay marriage, they are dividing normal people. They're dividing individuals who are being raised by gay couples who have a normal life. Gay couples have a normal life as well. So in this case, he is emphasizing the division that there is if they were to make a law of not allowing gay marriages to happen. That is dividing a nation, it is dividing people. And for what reason is what Zach is trying to express? There's no reason behind this division when there is no effect on people because of gay marriage. Like, who is it really affecting for it to be necessary to have a division, to have this bill passed? So, because of the division that Zach may analyze from the chairman, the nation, the new laws, he decides to give a speech so he could identify the common values and beliefs. Now, there is a cycle in the theory, the dramatism theory. There is guilt, hierarchy, redemption, victimage. I don't believe there is guilt in Zach's speech because there's nothing to be guilty about. But there is a reason why he is speaking, because he has negative emotions rather than, it does not have to be guilt, but he has negative emotions towards the higher power, which would lead to hierarchy. The powerless feels negative. Zach would be considered powerless speaking to the chairman, which feels negative in his case. It has access to the language to express feelings. He is expressing himself to the chairman. And after watching Zach's speech, I do feel like it was powerful. It was very direct. And there is no turning back after listening to his speech. He makes all of the points. He explains everything thoroughly. So in the hierarchy, the powerful might feel stressed out because they don't know how to communicate to broad audiences. I do think in higher power politically, they're not very well with communicating to audiences when it comes to gay marriage. I don't think it's really talked about in the higher power. It's just, they just state it's wrong and this will be the new law of not having gay marriage in the nation. So they don't really communicate this topic the way Zach did. Zach communicated this topic based on his personal life and experience. And after this speech, the powerful chairman might have felt stressed out in how to communicate back to someone like Zach, who has lived his entire life with a gay couple that raised him and he loves, and that's his family. How can you argue back with that? The negative in this case would be the idea of rejecting our place in social order, no matter what we want to reject being out of the bottom or top. The negative in Zach Wall's speech is, of course, not going by what he is expressing himself. If the higher power was to ignore Zach's speech and go along with making gay marriage not legal, that would be very negative. It would be rejecting Zach's place in social order. And of course, I do believe they went along with it. You know, that has not changed. And I do think Zach Wall's speech was very, it was very, it played a role in that case. Then there's redemption in the cycle, an offended party, the public system, justice system, or higher power. In this case, the party would be Zach. He is very offended from what I analyzed in the speech. He's offended with the way people portray gay couples. He's offended by the way the, the chairman, the higher power, is not letting gay marriage be legal. And he has every right to be offended. He has been raised by two women that changed his life, and he doesn't see that as no different. That is his family. So after explaining many of the points, mainly the main points of dramatism, I do think it has related so much to Zach Wall's speech, to his express feelings that he showed in the speech, to the political power in the audience. I thought it was a very direct theory, although it is a complicated theory as stated in the lecture video. The way I analyzed the speech in my perspective, it was very much related to the dramatism theory. And another reason why it made me think about dramatism and Zach Wall's speech was pentad. It is the last slide, or one of the last slides of the dramatism theory lecture video. Professor Parrish, he goes on and explains the act, the agent, the agency, the scene, and the purpose. The act would be the reason of the speakers speaking. So the reason why Zach is speaking is because he was raised by a gay couple. He wants to let the chairman know how it has no effect, no negative effect on him or on anyone, for gay marriage to be illegal. Agency would be the speech making. Zach Wall's speech was very, it caught my attention completely when he just speaks about his early age, when he was a child, when he was born, how just the process of how everything was and his family and how they grew up and how normal they are. Because to the political or the higher power, they see gay marriage as something very negative. They see it as this cannot happen, it's not possible, this cannot be normal. And Zach emphasizes how normal their life is, how there's no effect, no negative effect on anyone's life. The scene where and why it's significant. So in the speech video, I can't really tell you exactly the location of the speech where it's held. For me, it looks like it's kind of like a court, definitely somewhere where it's a high power scene. There's a chairman, he's speaking to a chairman, someone above him. And it's significant towards his speech. It's highly significant in this speech because of what he is speaking about, his purpose. It's about gay marriage and why it should be legal. And that is very significant in the speech. And there's a purpose, the goal of Zach's speech, the purpose or motivation of the speaker. The purpose, as I stated before, is to express why gay marriage should be legal, how normal it is, how that should not be looked down at in this nation. And his motivation, based on my perspective of me analyzing his speech, His motivation would most likely be his family, the two women that raised him. That would be the motivation of the speaker, to be a part of the change that will keep his family together. And I really did enjoy listening to Zach's speech. It was very touching, in my opinion, when he speaks about his family. And to, he had the language in his speak where he made you feel as if you were in his shoes. He made you feel the love, the bond, the commitment the family has, and how he feels that it's not respected and it's not accepted in this nation if they don't make gay marriage legal. Because of the two women that raised him, and he was a witness of the love they shared, the love they gave to raise him and his sister. So it really opened my mind in many things. I was never against gay marriage, never was I against any of that. But I never saw the side, I never heard the story of I never heard someone's story of someone being raised by two women or by a gay couple. I never really looked into that, how their life may be or anything. And Zach's life seems to be beautiful and lovely, but it's just how the high power can hurt these families with their judgment and their constitutional laws as well. So I appreciate listening to why I think Zach Wall's speech relates to dramatism. And how I related the theory to his speech and how everything came together as well. Thank you so much.